Aaron Smith can't lose. It's been a pretty good week. But first, I want to start off with my wonderful weekend with the MTA. I find them obviously very horrible with their service, quite honestly. You know, going anywhere on the weekend, you can't get anything without a headache, honestly. So I was going to Brooklyn, and there's no signs anywhere, no anything saying that anything's not out of service, obviously. And I get there, and I get on a train, and then next thing you know, it's the last stop. I'm like, but I'm still in Manhattan. How am I going to get to Brooklyn? And they're talking about a shuttle bus, and it's just a pain in the behind. And I really they suck. And Cuomo runs the MTA, and he's about to get reelected. And anyway, primary was yesterday. That was cool, I guess. Not a lot of surprises. A lot of people really go out to vote in primaries. I think they're really focused on the national elections and everything, and that right there lies the problem. I think that the local and the state are a lot more important than the federal, because they're going to do their thing in DC regardless. But I was really disappointed. So I expected a lot better turnout for yesterday, but it is what it is. Cuomo handily beats the Sex and the City chick Cynthia Nixon, almost double digits. You have Letitia James. She's like the Democratic for the Attorney General. All kind of boring shit. But anyway, lots to talk about. Little time to do it, but we'll get it done. First off, to recap from last week, I started my first show, and I was very excited. It took me 8 months to get here, but I'm finally here. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all week. But anyway, it was very interesting that I had a lot of people tell me, "Oh, what are you going to do? What are you going to say? Why is the show called Aaron Smith Can't Lose?" I was like basically saying, listen, I really can't, because at the end of the day, I really don't consider myself, lucky or anything like that. I'm blessed, and I use whatever I can, and I'm not here to bash anybody. I'm not here to talk anybody down, because there's no point in doing that. And I'm not going to shout anybody's name out or give anybody props, because quite honestly, they wouldn't do the same for me, so I'll do the same for them. It is what it is. A little quick from note, October 5th, 7 p.m. at Broadway Comedy Club, I'm having another show with the Funny Underground Comedy Crew. It's going to be a very first cross promotion with funny bits. Latisse Clapper, she's a very hilarious young lady. She's very cool. She was on The View with Modern Housewives. She does the circuit here in the city and New Jersey. She's awesome. So, really looking forward to it, how a gang of comedians coming through. And then also that same night at 9 o'clock, gonna go hang out at Manhattan News Network and had an old buddy of mine, Amari DaCosta. He has a show called the Art Heroes Project. He will probably be here next week to talk about it. We're working the details out soon, so if we see him here, it should be good. And if not, I'll plug his show anyway. But we're gonna go into a couple of things I wanted to talk about. Obviously, in the news, there was the whole U.S. Open final fiasco with Serena Williams, and a lot of flack had happened with that, and a lot of things were blown out of proportion. And then there was that crazy cartoon that Australian guy drew, which was really ridiculous. But I saw it as Serena's been kicking ass for a long time, and it's when you have that much dominance within your game, people tend to get a little jealous or tend to want to do things one-sided, and it's very unfortunate. And then when she gets upset or she gets mad, that things didn't go her way, people see it as her acting out or throwing a tantrum. No, it's not the point. The point is that you have an overzealous referee, for whatever reason, thought that he was in the right. And I'm not saying she was right either by wagging his finger in his face. But, honestly, when you're mad and you're upset, you do stupid things. And, I'm sure she's pretty upset about it. But, to say that she was mad that she lost and she didn't get what she wanted, which is a bunch of BS, because this lady has 23 Grand Slam championships. She can give those away if she really wanted to. There's no reason for her to get upset because she didn't win. The other reason only reason I can think of is that she's very fierce. She's very competitive. When you're fierce and you have that within you, of course you don't want to lose, because you want to be the very best that you want to be at your level. Just like LeBron James, he's arguably the greatest basketball player in the world right now. So he hates to lose. That's why he left Cleveland. But anyway, I got like this one guy, and you have a lot of these internet gangsters on Facebook and Twitter and what have you, and they want to talk a lot of big mess about whatever. It's really ignorant stuff, and they were really coming like out their neck and about Serena, and I was like, whoa, like, okay, you're entitled to your opinion, but this is a little wrong, calling her all kind of names, calling her a bitch and calling her angry black woman, all that stuff. I might listen. Look, she's none like that. And when you're a strong, beautiful black woman that she is, that can be intimidating to a lot of people. And some people can take that as the point where they're very, it could be very intimidating. It could be that point where people don't like that. So what? She's going to do what she wants to do anyway. She's going to keep winning regardless of whatever happens. She's going to end up breaking that streak. She's end up going to be getting that 24th title, and that is going to happen. It doesn't matter what these people are trying to do or what they want to do about stopping it. And it's just messed up. And the other lady, Osaka, she was very good too. And this tarnished her win, because I believe, I'm not too sure, but this may have been her first major title. And and a lot of people don't know this, but she did an interview recently talking about how she was confused. She didn't know what was going on. She wasn't mad. She wasn't upset, because in this day and age, everybody has to get offended and mad for somebody else in their place just because they feel this the right thing to do. And it was not the case with her. It really wasn't. And what really kills me about it is that it's just bottom line, they hate Serena. You want to do that? That's more fine with you. She's going to keep doing what she got to do. She's going to keep winning, and you're going to keep hating, and you would be that to your face turns blue. It's quite simple. She's from Compton, so I wouldn't mess with her either. But anyway, moving along to some more news. I guess we could get to the I didn't really want to talk about it, but I have friends that really into hip hop and rap and everything. I'm not as much as I used to be, but apparently at this gala thing, whatever have you, we all know, if you don't know, if you live under the rock, you probably don't, that Nicki Minaj and Cardi B had a altercation, and shoes were thrown, elbows were launched, and it was crazy. I don't want to see two beautiful women fight or anything, quite honestly, but they got some things going on, and quite honestly, I think I'm like, is this 1997? Like rap beefs are coming back. You got Eminem and MGK. You got Joe Budden talking crap about Eminem again, and I'm like, I didn't even know Joe Budden was still around. Quite honestly, I haven't heard from him in 100 years. Of course, you have Cardi and Nicki, and I think it's a lot more personal with these two. I don't know exactly what it is because, like I said, unfortunately, I'm not really into hip hop like this. But from what I heard, some words were spoken, some things were talked. One didn't like whatever one had to say, and things were things. And I'll give a little advice to Nicki. Quite honestly, Cardi is street, and she may be pretty, she may be cute, but she's still hood, and she still got that in her. So I wouldn't honestly mess with somebody like that. And she's from, them people from the Heights, they crazy, like they get their things done, So hopefully they could work that out peacefully. Most rap beefs do not end up, good, as we've seen in the past. But yeah, it's like 1997 all over again. I think I'm back in high school. It's crazy. It's really ridiculous. I think they should do better, and they could do better. But MGK, I think you need to stop right now. A lot of people can disagree with me. A lot of people can not like what I have to say, but Eminem is the greatest rapper, period, right now. Selling wise, lyrically, this man has been on point since he's ever came out. And I've heard of rap Eminem and his raps since high school, and he hasn't changed. He's gotten better, and he's evolved, and he's got better constructive, and his lyrics, and I didn't know who Machine Gun Kelly was until I googled him. Quite honestly, but they said that he dated Amber Rose, but who didn't? I mean, but yeah, I heard both songs. I heard Rap Devil from him. It was all right. It was okay. But honestly, Machine Gun Kelly is kind of like the Knicks, and M is more like the Warriors. It's just no competition. It really isn't. And he's definitely going to come back with a diss record, always sooner or later. And I think that's going to be the end of it. Oh, he did. Oh, yeah, he dropped a diss record today. Oh, all right. Oh, also awesome. Well, my condolences to Machine Gun Kelly. But yeah, everybody has to shoot their shot eventually. Well, but crazy. Who knows? But we'll see what happens. We're not gonna. I was gonna go and talk about that New York Times op-ed a little bit, but quite honestly, everybody's Trump, and I'm really not. I don't like him, but honestly, I don't want to talk about him too much because it's really not my thing. But there was a article that came out not too long ago that apparently is somebody in the White House who have written this article in the New York Times saying that they are part of the resistance and they are fighting Trump within the White House. I'm like, okay, that's cool. But no one wants to fess up because they know this angry 17-year-old teenager stuck in a 74-year-old man's body is probably going to flip out, and he's very unstable. So I don't really know, honestly, if it's true or if it's valid or not. But then again, if it's in the New York Times, it got to be a little bit legit, So Mike Pence, the vice president, said it wasn't him. Numerous people in this administration said it wasn't. I don't know if they're saying that because it's true or they're saying it because they can say they don't want to get their head bitten off by the orange cookie monster. But I mean, as a friend of mine, it's about solutions. It's about having answer to this issue. And what do we do with Trump? What do we do with him? And there's nothing you can do right now. You really gotta take some time. You have to let Mueller do his thing. And he's been doing a great job so far. He's arrested a lot of people. So I quite honestly would have just, shut the fuck up and let him do what he got to do. Quite honestly. And this whole, impeachment and all this other things, and that's all cool and all, but we're gonna deal with. If you want to deal with Pence, then so be it. Because if you think Trump is bad, wait till you see good old Vice President Pence. And I've heard horror stories about him that will make the purge look like a fairy tale. But we're gonna take a little break, and we'll discuss a little bit more stuff. This is Aaron Smith, Can't Lose, on the Flow Empire Network.
Our lives begin to end. The day we become silent about the things that matter. Martin Luther King Jr.
Conversations going left field out of patience. Complications are turning into frustration. Don't need your opinion if you can't see we're the victims. No indictments, mentally losing your stripes, and united we stand. Divided we fall. One person can do it. It's gotta be us all.
Yeah, I said it, we don't get no credit. Good news don't travel, we don't get no credit. Usually the best of the best, but we still won't get it. Yeah, I said it, we don't get no credit, but
I like a missile, I flow so efficient. Embracing stay one is deeper than tissue. With pigment shit issue, blessings when diminish. You feel bad for your soul, but I ain't coming with you. Keep on sinning, we gon' keep on winning. Not content with the pain that we always have been in. Stripped of our climbing, that caters your proud. Judgment day, you must look in his eyes. Took an oath to the job, but you still put a trigger, Took an oath to the job, but you still put a trigger, Took an oath to the job, but you still put a trigger, Took an oath to the job, but you still put a trigger,
yeah, I said it, we don't get no credit.
Get no credit, no.
Good news don't travel, we don't get no credit.
Get no credit, no.
Usually the best of the best, but we still won't get it.
Still won't get it, no.
Yeah, I said it, we don't get no credit, but
no. United we stand. Divided we fall. One person can do it. It's gotta be us all.
She's a dancer. She's a dancer. me thinking I'm the only one that matters in this club. Every time we exchange words, I feel that rub on my leg, draw me in, asking if I'm ready for another dance. These pockets still heavy, so I said let's go. She took me to the top floor, now she giving me a private show. Booty go up and down, said the booty go up and down. Hips go round and round, said the hips go round and round. Booty go up and down, said the booty go up and down. Hips go round and round, said the hips go round and round. She's a dancer, got me watching you, got me watching you, got me watching you. She's a dancer, stuck on how she moves, got me stuck on how she moves, got me stuck on how she moves. She's a dancer, got me hypnotized. She's a dancer, she's a dancer, she's a dancer. Gonna spend my money, tonight. All this money, girl, it's yours, it's yours. Just keep on dancing, moving, and I throw more. All this money, girl, it's yours, it's yours. Keep on dancing, moving, and I throw more. Yeah, all this money, girl, it's yours, it's yours. Keep on dancing, moving, I throw more. This money, girl, it's yours. Keep on dancing, and I throw.
Yeah, we're back. And so we were talking about Serena, and like I said, she just wanted to admit that she was wrong, and they took it out of proportion. And like I said, when you're wrong, you're wrong. You just want to own up. And like I said, when people don't like somebody, you make it out to be about themselves. Like I said, we're in this age of I have to be offended by every little thing, and it's unfortunate because the humor and the business I'm in with comedy, it can suck the fun out of it a little bit. And personally, I don't care. I'm gonna say what I want to say anyway. I know I'm funny. I've done this a while, so it's not arrogant or there's nothing like brash, anything about it. I've been doing this since I was 8 years old. Entertaining my family at Thanksgiving and Christmas. I just do it kind of professionally now. So I love to entertain. I love to make people laugh. I love to enjoy my time on stage, and because comedy's supposed to be a way to get away from life for like an hour, 2 hours, just to enjoy yourself and laugh and have a good time, and not to deal with crap for a little while. And people have this thing with Trump because he is the walking, talking punchline. My problem with that is that when he goes away, what are you going to talk about next? I mean, really, let's think about it. I know that I personally write my stuff, and I have people who work with me and who do those shows on their own with other people, and they write their stuff. So you just sit in front of the TV and you decide what Trump is going to talk about. Let's think about it. Who gives a fuck about him? Because Donald Trump doesn't give a shit about you, even the people that voted for him, and that's the unfortunate truth. But you don't see Alec Baldwin on Saturday Night Live every week. because it's getting tired. I mean, he does a great job. He plays Trump better than Trump plays himself. But quite honestly, like, when is it going to be enough? When is it going to, like, what is going to happen after, let's say he does get impeached and he gets go to jail? You want to talk about that? Like, it's going to get tired and it's going to get, I'm honestly sick of it myself. But, I do love the memes. I do post them on Facebook and I do talk a little crap about him. But I'm like, I'm not going to, like, lose my head if he doesn't get removed from office. I mean, no. There's a science to this. And, like I said earlier, if you just let Mueller do his damn job, you don't have to worry about anything. So moving along. There was I think it was a guy. I don't know. I don't know his. I don't remember his name, but he's a CEO or a former CEO of CBS, and he was accused of some bad sexual allegations against women. This is going back as past as the 80s, I believe, and I believe his wife is going to co-host on the talk. With Sharon Osbourne and those other people. So he was forced to resign. They're doing a private investigation, independent investigation on the matter, and like I said, this dates back to the 1980s. They accusing him of verbal abuse, unwanted sexual advantage, all kind of crap, and this is this really started with Weinstein and Harvey Weinstein, who was the former head of his namesake, the Weinstein Company, and he was let go, and he's about to go to court, and fight for his freedom, or if he, whatever have you. And it's Me Too thing is deep. It really is. But my issue with it is that I believe that if you have something to say and if something is bothering you and if someone is bothering you, you got to say that right away, man. You got to get it done right away. I don't think no job, no career, no person is worth your personal being, yourself, the way you think and everything and stuff like that, because statute of limitations run out, things go awry, your accusers may die. Personally, I think you just have to I know it's a lot. It's kind of hard to talk about because people are scared of losing their jobs, and then they do become ill and things happen. But if you have a problem, you got something to say, something wrong, something bad, your boss is treating you bad, they're trying to do certain things to you, man, I'll report that right away and something like that. It's like a lot of intimidation factor. There's a lot of people that are in this position of power that abuse it, and that's unfortunate. But my thing is, like I said, if it's really that serious and it really needs to be taken care of and it's bothering you that bad, take care of it right away, handle it right away, so that they get taken care of. Something happens, like a court, the court case, or so they get prosecuted or investigated on. Something has to get give, because waiting 20-30 years, it's kind of a gamble. I mean, with the whole Bill Cosby thing, and everybody grew up liking Bill Cosby. He was dad, but for everyone. But it turns out that dad has some secrets, and I've talked about this a lot about with my friends, and I've discussed it as well. We don't, only people that know what really happened is Bill and the female, and that's it. No one else. So we honestly will never know what really happened, but he was found guilty. I don't know. I don't really think they're going to put an 80-year-old man in prison, quite honestly. But I did remember that they had said something. I don't know if it's valid or anything. I should have checked it before the show, but apparently, in one of the courts or one of the people they had, there was a tape that they said that was maybe doctored, and that might exonerate him. So that was a new thing inside to it, and it's like it's an interesting development. So we shall see what happens. But yeah. I mean, it's kind of two sides to a story, and there are two truths. So eventually, it will come out. But I think this Me Too thing also is something that hasn't been addressed. Is that there are female predators as well, and I don't think they have the limelight as much as a male accused as well, because this is the world we live in. And I'm like, if you're going to blame Weinstein, Cosby, whoever have you, there are a lot of people that are not within that, category or that position of, celebrity, what have you. But they're still doing stuff like this, and they're still getting away with it, especially in the comedy business. But that's another show for another time. I probably gotta spend the whole hour talking about that shit. But anyway, speaking of the business, like I said, I've been doing this on and off 10 years. I just started going back in 2016. I've run a pretty good show for about a year. Funny Underground Comedy Crew at Broadway Comedy Club. I've met a lot of interesting people, and there's a lot of people that I wished I didn't meet. But again, like I said, there's no point in talking about them or even naming them, because they wouldn't do the same for me. And I'm not going to give them that acknowledgement, quite honestly. As far as I'm concerned, like I said, I have grown as a person. I think, about 10 years ago, I wasn't who I wanted to be as far as my career is concerned and as far as things go. And, but, it's been good change. It's been slow, but it's been pretty gradual, and I enjoy it. As far as, people in the business, it's this unfortunate thing that the biggest a-holes in the world outside politicians, I think lawyers, are comedians, because they mask a lot of imperfections and abnormalities within themselves, and they end up making look really stupid, or alienating themselves from others, and how they come off and then stuff like that. Well, we all know it's an act. We all know it's a racket. That's perfectly fine. But some part of that act is you on stage and how you present yourself to the audience. And that's my problem with a lot of people. They, sing and they dance and they laugh and they talk all these jokes. They're great and they're really, but as soon as they step off stage, it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's like crazy. Like, I've never, seen so much abnormality and just weird motherfuckers everywhere. Like, it's just crazy. Like, I thought high school was bad, but I mean, at least I made a few friends out of it. And I also have made some friends in the business, which I'm very proud of. And I commend them. They're still doing their thing, and it's great. And my problem only thing is that I wish that people will be more upfront with me before I do business with them. And that's my issue. You can't bullshit a bullshitter, and I've been bullshitting for about 35 years on this planet. So, come on, be real. That's the issue. Like, and I would love to get somebody on, preferably an owner or a really good booker. But I think that every time I've asked somebody to come on, or I've asked to say something to them, they be like, oh yeah, I'll get to it. I'm like, I'm not gonna, bite your head off. I'm not gonna spaz on you. I'm not gonna joke about you. There's nothing I'm gonna get out of that. I just would like to have a simple conversation where I can speak to you about the biz and where it is, where it's going, and what do you see for the future. That's all. I mean, like, I can be a hard ass at times, and I admit that, but I think I am reasonable and I have been fair. And you can see it with all my shows. I make sure everybody's good. All the comics are good. I make sure the crowd is good. I've unfortunately, I can't say unfortunately, I say somewhat fortunately, I put others before me, and that's how I was raised, to just lift people up and just pay things forward. And that's what I think it is. I think that's the reason why the reason should be and how things should go. But not everybody thinks like that, and that's perfectly fine. You live your life the way you want to live it. But if you have issues with someone and you're not booking them, or you're trying to get them banned from a club because you couldn't take a joke but you're a comedian anyway, then like I said last week, you shouldn't be in this business. You really shouldn't. And quite frankly, we're supposed to make people laugh. We're supposed to things like that. And I have been ribbed before. My best friend, he does that all the time, every time we talk, and I've known him 20 years. So, take a joke. It's not that serious. Life is too short for the bullshit. And quite honestly, you having these little, infights and all this, oh, I want my show to be better than your show and all this other crap. Listen, we all trying to do what we got to do. We all trying to make better for ourselves and do things right and, entertain. That's what the thing is. It's all about entertaining. Yes, we got to get paid. Yes, everybody else has to get money. But it's about entertaining. That's the main line. Like I said, to get people away from their lives for an hour or two and have a good time. That's why I really can't work with a lot of people, because it's money. And I'm like, listen, money isn't everything. And quite honestly, you can't take it with you. So what are you arguing and grinding about? I remember that my first show, they were like, oh, if you don't have like 6 or 7 people, you can have a show. I'm like, okay, like whatever. And then we just got that, and we kicked ass. So and that was last July, and now we're getting like 20-25 heads a show, and that's freaking great. And hopefully could build from there. But I will do everything in my power to make my show entertaining, fun, good for the comics, good for the fans, for the audience, and as well as the club, because they got to make money too. So yeah, I mean, producing a show has shown me a different side of the business that I wasn't really ready for, but I embraced it fully because this is something I want to do. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what I love to do. Like I said, I've been doing this, since I was a little kid. So, like I said, I just do it professionally now, and I enjoy myself, and I have a great time doing it. But sometimes you just want to go Latrell Sprewell or somebody. I don't know if a lot of people remember that, but it was like in the 90s, and Sprewell was on the Warriors, I believe, and his coach was PJ Carlesimo, and they choked him out on practice and stuff like that. But you can YouTube that. I'm pretty sure they have that video. Well, not the actual video of him choking him. I doubt that, but there's probably a news story on that. Anyway, I remember that very lightly. That was hilarious. Kind of like when they had the NBA Finals game. I believe, I don't know if it was Game 5 or Game 6, and they had the little TV block, the little small block of OJ and the cops, and like, it's crazy. Like, oh my God. I was like, the Knicks are like one win away from the NBA Finals, but OJ is on the run. But anyway, well, we all know how it both turned out. The Knicks lost, and OJ was free, but he got locked up for taking his own stuff, and he's free again. I really pray for OJ. I really do. I don't want him to go back to jail. He's too old to go to jail now. Like, just stay home, stay out of trouble. Like, don't do nothing that don't mean nothing. It's like, just stay home, like, dude. But oh god. But yeah, I'm just going on rambling, but we're having a good time. I'm having a good time. Everybody's chilling, so it is what it is. So like, this is the second show, and I'm getting a feel of things, and I'm having a good time and checking things out. So eventually I'm going to start doing little segments and stuff like that. And one of the two things that I would like to do would be like, there is the dude or dudette of the week, which is basically a person who I think did some good things or some amazing things or whatever have you. And on the flip side of that, I have the jerk / cunt of the week, which is basically the bad guy, the person that I think that did some really foul crap, and they need to be put on notice for that. So I think the first thing I will do is I guess I have to give it up to David Wright. He's the third baseman in the New York Mets. I consider him the dude of the week. We all knew this was coming, that he had to retire. He has spinal stenosis, which is a really severe condition, and he cannot wrestle. He might too. Maybe Vince McMahon might call him, but he cannot play baseball anymore. But the Mets had said that he will be with the organization in some capacity. He will be playing the last homestand. I think that's the only thing we Mets fans have to look forward to this season. But that's another story. But I wish him the best. He was my favorite player on the Mets, and he was the captain, and he still is the captain until somebody takes it from him. But I'm gonna try to make that game on September 29th, the final homestand. It should be good. Oh man, but I just wish he had won a ring. At least once with the team. I mean, we had some good teams. 2006, that heartbreaking Game 7 with the Cardinals, at fucking Beltran. Just looked at but it was a good pitch, and it was called strike 3, and we lost. But Carlos Beltran, if you hear me, fuck you. You should at least moved into the pitch or something. Got hit with it. We would have been in the series. And then you end up joining the Yankees, so you're a real asshole. You can kiss my ass. Fuck you, Carlos Beltran. Anyway. But anyway, good for David Wright. I wish him luck on all the best. You're freaking awesome. Like I said, I wish he had won a ring. We had a chance in 2015 as well, but it just wasn't in the cards for us. Hopefully, so all Mets fans out there, we hope to win a World Series before any of us, go on to the next life and everything. But with this current organization, I don't think it's going to happen. You have the Wilpons, and they are arguably the worst, quite in my opinion, and I think many sports fans can agree. But it is what it is. As for the jerk / cunt of the week, I would have to basically go that nomination would have to go to Governor Andrew Cuomo, and because he runs the MTA. And if you've seen the show earlier, I had a hell of a time getting to Brooklyn because of how horrible the service was in the MTA. And he always complains and argues that the MTA is crap. But you own the 8th MTA. So that means you're crap. And you have an issue with yourself because you don't want to admit that this is your problem and you need to fix it. So he is quite honestly the jerk of the week. And he, like I said, he won his election handily. And I didn't really give Cynthia Nixon much of a chance, but she did try, and she did a good thing. And she's gonna, I think she's still on the working party ticket, so for November. So we'll see what happens. But Andrew Cuomo, fuck you. You're a piece of shit. I never liked you. Your father, he was okay. Mario was cool. And your brother Chris is cool. But Andrew Cuomo, fuck you. You're a piece of shit. And if you want to fix the MTA, please do. And stop blaming De Blasio for everything. De Blasio didn't do anything. I mean, I'm not really a fan of his either. But quite honestly, he's doing a lot better job than you are. Anyway, for those who voted for Cuomo, I wish you luck, because in 2 years he's probably going to run for president. So good luck with that. As far as I'm concerned. I think I've cursed a lot too much, but hey, it is what it is. It's Friday. We're having a good time. We're enjoying ourselves. So look, a couple more things before we wrap up. Like I said, next week I'm going to have my good friend Amari DaCosta from the Our Heroes Project at Eminem Studios. We actually used to be in the boys' choir Harlem together. Yeah, my crazy ass used to sing. But puberty happened and girls happened, so we don't do that anymore. But he'll be here next week talking about a couple of projects he has come up, including the show that we're trying to collaborate together on October 5th, 9 p.m. at Eminem Studios, 59th and 10th. Free shows, so if you guys want to come through, if you're in New York City on Friday, October 5th, 9 p.m., definitely come through. I guess that's pretty much it. And I had a good time. I hope you had a good time. This is Aaron L. Smith, and I will see you next week. Thank you, and take care.
Yeah, V12, Virgo. We ain't gonna go back and forth and play this cat and mouse game. It is what it is. If you with it, let me know from the beginning. What it's gonna be.
So what it's gonna be, baby girl? And like you're tryna come home. I wanna leave with me, girl. So I see the phone come home. I wanna leave with you, girl. And I'm really tryna roll.
Come on. Hop in the whip, I'm about to roll. Dismissing all these bitches hitting up the phone. I'm headed to the spot just to be alone. I step in, get a table while I'm in the zone. Something like one bottle just to be social. Hitting Twitter, let my hitters know I'm chilling local. And I'm sipping while I'm sitting solo. I'm just different bass hitting while I'm listening to total. A lot of things on the floor shaking. Each one got me more patient. I see when I'm like, Lord gracious. Let's see what it's gonna take us. I told her, I wanna see you on the floor naked. She laughed. She looked at me and said, this boy crazy. Then she looked at me and said she overdated. Then I looked at her and said, I'm so persuasive. Then I grabbed her by the hand, headed to the table. Glasses after glasses, getting more acquainted. The liquor make these women show their true colors. Brown and brown equals black when it's undercovers. It could all start with a couple licks, and they can end with you. And in between, I be it's blindfolded sex. You don't know who you fucking with. She said the party done, let's get out of here. I said the party starts when we out of here. By the end of the night, we can both get right. I'm not here just to find me a Wi-Fi. So what it's gonna be,
baby girl? And like you're tryna come home. I wanna leave with me, girl. So I see the phone come home. I wanna leave with you, girl. I'm really tryna roll.
You ain't tryna leave. Okay, let go. Look, now what you gonna do? Cause I already know what you wanna do. And I can tell that you can tell that I'm wanting you. And I ain't with the game, so I'm laying in front of you. So now it's your decision. Because your decision, it will lead to more decisions. And the more decisions we have is for more positions. Both our wrists handcuffed together, fucking codependents. I'm trying to get you alone, girl. And ain't nobody trying to fuck your buck-tooth home, girl. So leave her by herself right there where she's supposed to be. And bring your sexy ass more close to me. Let's have a toast to me. Cause this calls for a celebration. Let's say cheers to the crib with the betters waiting. Soon as we friend up, where you gon' end up in a room that's tremendous, in the mood getting bit up. Now tell me how that sound, cause I get around like Tupac if you not down. What you mean? If you ain't with it, gotta let me know. If you ain't with it, I ain't flipping, I'll let you go. So call me a loser. I don't get mad, I just call you an Uber. I dig on your cab, and if you want me to do ya, then get and relax, looking thick in the passenger seat when we pulling out. Now all the stops are pulling out. I see you staring, so I dare you, mama, pull it out. By the end of the night, you can both get right. I'm not here just to find me your wife, alright? So what it's gonna be?
Baby girl, acting like you're tryna come home. Baby girl, so get your hands to the phone, come home.